YouTube? Studio Dead back with another review. Deadman reviewing the unfortunate incident that it is The Darkness 2.
T-shirts.
By the way, for those of you doubting that we were actually going to get t-shirts out, the proof's in the pudding. Check it out. Subscribe, rate. You could win one. Check it out.
Game on, suckers.
Game on, goddammit.
Oh, man, I'm getting a hard on right now.
Yeah, he is. You don't want to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Hide your children. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, man. Sorry.
Oh, God.
Oh, I tried to contain
it in
it.
your pants, man.
Anyways.
It was.
Anyways.
Snuck out.
Now, before I get started, I just have to let you know that, we've been out of it, but we're gonna cover that a little bit later. So, here is the Deadman's review for The Darkness 2 by 2K Games.
Alright, so here we go. The review of The Darkness 2. Now, this game picks up 2 years after the first game left off. 2K really tried to improve a lot of things by trying to go with a different graphics set, which, according to the Deadman, just doesn't work out. You guys are stuck between Borderlands and any other generic first-person shooter. Your characters are extraordinarily poorly rendered, especially when compared to the guns themselves, how they're rendered, as well as the clothing of the characters, the backgrounds, the fire, the smoke effects, all you guys are doing. Honestly, the rendering itself was just an extreme fail. Now, you would expect the full motion videos in the games to be a lot better graphics or rendered than the gameplay itself, but they're not. At one point in the game, one of the characters is supposed to be, I guess, draped with white gauze or white sheets, but instead it just looks like duct tape over her body. It's really bad. I mean, the only really improvements that I see are to the guns and to the tentacles of the Darkness itself. And even those are barely noticeable. I mean, granted, it takes center stage, but it's just still bad. Now, the sound itself, you guys went above and beyond trying to get all the splashes of the gore, trying to get all the guns firing, but the guns themselves sound very generic, very poorly done, especially with a 5.1 surround sound or Turtle Beaches. Anything that's going to be a higher definition of sound, it just sounds flat. The audio itself is overtaken easily by the sound effects and by the music that is sometimes playing. Now, let's move on to the story itself. Guys, really, I mean, if you guys are going to make a direct continuation, at least try to make it pertinent to the game. You guys, the first game was about Jackie, the main character, versus the mob that betrayed him and is trying to kill him, and in the end, his girlfriend, Jenny, gets killed. Granted, it's a horrible thing, but, enough to make a sequel where Jenny takes precedent over all of the other things going on. It's just stupid. I mean, you guys brought in the Darkness is a lot more vivacious and try and get a control of you, but it just doesn't work. And on top of that, throwing in these weird asylum levels between all the rest of the gameplay, it's just not good, guys, because you guys force the player, the gamer, to suffer through these 15 to 20 minute bits of absolute no action. I understand maybe you're trying to break up the story and the gore a little bit, but that's what we're playing the game for. Is the action, the gore. But moving on, let's talk about the controls. The controls, when firing weapons, are so stiff, aiming down the sight, that it's just not funny. It's hard to get a beat on the target, and especially when you guys are adding such vicious kick with some of the weapons that you use, like the MP7 and the Kalashnikov and the assault rifles themselves. They kick so hard that there's really no point in trying to aim down the sights. The Darkness, the tentacles, the way you control them is actually pretty cool. Granted, the range is much more limited this time around, but they do more damage this time around. Instead of taking 4 or 5 swipes to a normal character, you can usually take them out in 2. This is on a normal setting, of course. But giving us the option for trying to get different executions using the tentacles versus letting us upgrade not only our health but the power of the tentacles and the real capacity for the guns that we depend on so heavily during the game. You guys failed miserably at this, and I am extraordinarily disappointed. Really, really disappointed. I would be less disappointed if at one point in the game you rely solely on the pistols and the weapons that you find, only to be stuck with a half-assed version of an FPS. And also, let's talk about a little bit about the damage. The damage is so random. For those going to play the game, never get rid of the M1911. Never get rid of it. Honestly, it's the most powerful gun and best used gun in the entire fucking game. It is stupid. I should be able to put down these guns, pick up a shotgun, and go to town. Instead, I'm spending half my rounds trying to get rid of one guy, where with the M911, I fire 2, 3, 4 rounds and they're gone. But moving on past that, let's talk a little bit about the multiplayer. What is the point of it? Really? I mean, come on. Really, what's the point of this? At least in Battlefield 3, Modern Warfare 3, even Homefront, there's some point, there's two factions against each other. Instead, you got everybody kind of a clusterfuck all together, trying to get kills, stealing hearts, and the levels that are recycled from the game and poorly done at that. If you can find a server, good luck. But, moving on. I mean, in the end, 2K, I'm extremely disappointed with this game. I was expecting a lot more, especially since the fact that it is taken so long for this sequel to come out. You know, other game companies are putting their time and efforts into bettering the game, but you guys are bettering parts of the game instead of going for the whole picture. In the end, it just ends up one huge clusterfuck, and I am extraordinarily disappointed in you guys. So, will I ever be playing this game again? Probably fucking not. Will I be playing the sequel, which, by the way, the setup in the end for was just poorly done and poorly executed as well. There are some elements to this story that don't make sense. There are most elements in this story that just don't even belong there. Anyways, wrapping up, let's go to the wrap-up. This has been The Dead Man.
Alright, thanks for staying tuned through that alcohol-fueled rage. But anyways, here's how it breaks down. The Darkness 2. Drake rates it a shit. Zeiss also rates it a shit. And the Dead Man gives it a big old fat pile of shit. So you heard it, folks. This game is shit. Avoid it at all costs. Unless you absolutely positively have to play the game, fucking steal it. Don't spend any money on it whatsoever. I mean, honestly, you heard the review, you heard it here first. So anyways, stay tuned for our next review. Remember, subscribe, rate, comment.
If you want to get a t-shirt,
Get yourself a t-shirt. Stay tuned, YouTube.